troubling new way to cyberbully. It's an app that lets kids post anonymous comments about classmates that show up in schools all across the country. Ryan Smith tells us how some parents in schools are fighting back.
And they have this book, this Burnbook, where they write mean things about all the girls in our grade.
In Mean Girls, the Burnbook was all the rage.
We cut out girls' pictures from the yearbook, and then we wrote comments.
Now it's a cell phone app that's going viral in schools across the country. It lets students find and click on their school, then post anonymous content about anything or anyone.
For this app in particular, the fact that people are anonymous, the majority of the time they have been negative.
The app's terms of service webpage clearly stating users may not use the service to transmit content that is hateful, abusive, or otherwise objectionable by Burnbook users. But the app and similar ones like Yik Yak, an after-school app banned over concerns of online threats, is exposing kids to cyberbullies.
Really?
17-year-old Tatum Blakeney from California experienced this firsthand.
Somebody said Tatum should get cancer like his mother and die. I was very hurt that somebody would say that to me. That just really hit deep.
And parents crying foul, like this father in San Diego who didn't want to be identified. He says his high school-age daughter was a target.
It's a dangerous site. There were mean-spirited comments, vulgarity. I think it's completely wrong.
These apps create a huge problem for teenagers because of the anonymity. There are devastating effects.
Burnbook CEO telling ABC News overnight they do not condone bullying, saying anonymity is a privilege, not a right. Abuse that privilege and there will be consequences. Some schools now taking action. That San Diego school district sending a message to middle school and high school families, warning them that charges may result from posting threatening or inappropriate messages, adding, threats are not jokes.
Some schools are trying to block access to apps like this over school networks, but since the users are anonymous, the key here really is for parents to talk to their kids. That way, if an issue comes up, they can try to identify, George, the anonymous tormentor and tell authorities.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this now. Erica Suter's here as well, our parenting expert. Boy, it's easy to see why parents would get upset about this.
Oh yeah, more and more parents are being alarmed by this. We grew up and bullying meant being physically hit. Now it takes on a totally different meaning in this day and age. And 1 in 3 kids say they've been the victim of cyberbullying. Parents hear that. They also see more and more kids trying to hurt themselves or attempt suicide because of cyberbullying, and they get how dangerous this is for their children.
So, Ryan, where does the law stand on this? We see those disclaimers by the people who put out the apps. Does that protect them?
Well, it's tough to stop the apps because the apps themselves are protected and in a sense immune from prosecution for the offensive content that their users post. So while parents may be saying, well, we can't get the apps and the websites, you can get the bully. I think laws are stepping up all over the country to say if you bully online, you could be subject to criminal harassment, stalking, and some states have gone further, passing cyberbullying laws, essentially saying to bullies, if you're caught bullying, you could be subject from anything from suspension to jail time.
Of course, that would require lifting the veil of anonymity, but can you go in there and do that in the apps?
No, that's going to be tough to do. So that's why the parent-kid connection is so important. Getting a sense of who the tormentors might be and trying to figure that out.
What should parents do?
Ryan hit the nail on the head. You have to question your kids. Make sure, they're not going to be open and honest about bullying at all times. They might be embarrassed about it. So talk to them. Let them know you're there to help them, not to judge. And don't respond to cyber bullies.
Don't respond.
Don't respond. Don't. That just fuels the fire. A lot of parents, their knee-jerk reaction is to go online and launch an attack themselves. That's a bad idea. And third, monitor your kids. And this goes for parents of bullied children, but also parents who suspect their kids are bullied. You have to put a stop to the behavior, no matter which side of the argument or the issue that you fall on.
Okay, and
Erica brings up a good point. You don't respond, you tell authorities, you tell school officials. They are the ones who can take up the baton and say, look, let's get this, let's look at this issue, let's see if we need to contact police. And that's the message being sent to bullies. You bully online, you could be subject to prosecution.
Okay. Good advice, Ryan. Erica, thanks very much.